Hi everyone, this is Amy from the Helms Academy, and today we'll be talking about perimeter. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to find the perimeter of a shape, evaluate formulas for perimeter of a square and perimeter of a rectangle, and also identify the values of missing measurements when finding the perimeter of an object. Let's get started. Perimeter is the distance around the shape. So all we have to do to find perimeter is to add all the lengths of all the sides together. Let's start with our top row of shapes. For the triangle, you see the values 7, 8, and 13. It's always good to check first to make sure they're the same type of measurement. And in this case, we have 3 measurements that are all in centimeters. So all we need to do to find the perimeter is add up those 3 sides. 7 plus 8 plus 13, which equals 28. The perimeter then is 28 centimeters. To the right of that, you'll see another 4-sided shape. Again, we need to add the values of each side together. So we'll do 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 7 equals 19. The perimeter of this shape is 19 centimeters. For the third one there on that top row, we'll look at this 5-sided shape, and we need to add all 5 values together. So 5 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5 equals 30. So the perimeter here is 30 centimeters. Now on the bottom row, things are a little bit different. Only one value, 8 centimeters, is given on the pentagon that you see on that left side. So see the lines that are drawn on each side of the shape? What those lines mean are that all the sides are actually equal in length. So this means that if we know one side is equal to 8 centimeters, that means all the sides are going to be equal to 8 centimeters because we see that line indicating that they're the same. So we can add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, and that gives us the perimeter of 40 centimeters. The same goes for the square. We see the one side is 12 centimeters, and then the lines show us that all the other sides are equal. So we can add 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, and the perimeter is 48 centimeters. For the triangle, we see we have 2 out of the 3 values on here. So remember, only the sides that are marked with the line going through them are equal to each other. So in this case, we know that the missing side is also 7.5 centimeters, just like the other line that's marked that has the little line going through it. So this means we'll need to add 7.5 plus 7.5 plus 4.5. And the perimeter for the triangle is 19.5 centimeters. When working with squares, you might see a special formula written out. Because a square by definition has 4 equal sides, we really only need to know the one side value to be able to solve for the perimeter of the whole square. So for example, if you look at the square on the screen, it says 6 centimeters on the one side. So that means we know, with the lines, again, drawn through each side, that all sides are equal, and all sides are equal to 6 centimeters. So to get the perimeter, we could do what we did on the last slide and add together 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 to get the answer. However, you might see on some test formula sheets the formula P equals 4S. And this means that the perimeter is equal to 4 times the length of one side. So that means we could do P equals 4 times 6. The perimeter is 4, the number of sides, times the length of the one side, 6. So to solve, we could do 4 times 6 or 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, and we get the same answer. Those are 2 ways of getting to the perimeter of a square. And the final answer is 24 centimeters. On the test formula sheets, you might also see rectangles listed as P equals 2L plus 2W, or perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. They both mean the same thing. Rectangles, by definition, have the same values or lengths on each of their parallel sides. So the top and the bottom have the same value, and the 2 sides on either the right or the left have the same value as well. Here we see that the top and the bottom are both 9 centimeters and the left and the right are both 4 centimeters. So again, we could always go through and add the sides and say 9 plus 9 plus 4 plus 4, and we get the right answer. But the formula sheet gives us another way to do it. We could just do 2 times 4 plus 2 times 9. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 9 is 18. Add them together, and the value of the perimeter is 26 centimeters. Let's take a look at another kind of example. Here is the outline of a space. Now, forgive me because the example I'm using is labeled as centimeters, so I know this would be a very small space. But if you'll join me in using your imaginations, I want you to think about this in real life terms, that this space could be a room in a house, or it could be a yard, and you could be wondering how much baseboard would you need to go around the edge of the room, or how much fencing would you need to go around the edge of the yard. I think putting it in real life terms is helpful for understanding perimeter and why we use it. So, to find the perimeter and to know the total length of the baseboard or fencing needed to go around this space, we just need to add together all the sides. However, you can see that some of the side values are missing here. So, how do we find the values of the missing sides? Let's take a look. So, to find the value of a missing side, we can look at the parallel sides. Now first, I want you to look at the top. And it says it's 6 centimeters. But I know the bottom is smaller than the top when we look at those parallel lines. So when I look at this, I need to think about what the other parallel value is, which is that 2 centimeters you see circled on the screen. Now, because I know that bottom wall is smaller by the same amount of length as we see in that 2 centimeter space, to get the bottom wall value, I just have to do 6 minus 2, which is 4 centimeters. So now we have one of our missing values. Similarly, if I want to find the value of that left side wall, I need to look at the walls that are parallel to it. So I see that there are 2 walls and sections that are parallel. So each wall segment by itself is shorter than the total length of the wall that I want to measure. I can see that that left wall is much longer than either of these 2 smaller segments. But the 2 walls together show me the total length of that space. Because I have a bigger wall than the 2 smaller walls, I know I'm going to use addition here. So when I add together the 4 and the 3, I get 7. So I know that this wall is 7 centimeters long. Now, to get the perimeter, we will need to add up all of these sides. So 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 gives us 26 centimeters, and that is the perimeter of the whole space if we wanted to put a fence or some baseboard around this area. Fantastic job today learning about perimeter. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to this Helms Academy YouTube channel for updates on all of our new videos and content. You can also check out the Helms Academy on Instagram, Facebook, and at helmsacademy.org.